Hi friends, welcome to codewithsugi YouTube channel. So in the previous videos, we have discussed about control flow statements in a theoretical way. In this video, we're going to discuss about control flow statements with the example. At very first, we're going to discuss about decision making statements. So before we get into this video, if you are new to our channel and if you are not aware of what we have discussed till date, so you don't need to worry. We always used to add all the links in the description. So please go ahead and have a look on the previous videos. As I said, now we're going to discuss about decision making statements. We have three different types of decision making statements. One is if statement, another one is if else, another one is if else later, and nested if also available in the if statement. We will see different examples for all these three decision making statements. So before we get into the example, I need to discuss about decision making. So when we will make a decision or how we will make a decision, there should be some condition. Based on that condition only, we're going to make the decision, right? So say for example, if your age is greater than 18, then you will be allowed to drive a car. So here we are making a decision to drive a car based on a age condition. So likewise, we're going to take some example and we're going to discuss about all these three control flow statements. To explain about these decision making statements, I'm going to take a variable mark and I'm going to say 45. Here we need to take a decision based on this mark, right? So for that we will have a condition like if the person got mark greater than 45, then obviously he will be called passed. If the person got the mark less than 45, then he will be called as failed. So with this, we're going to write a if statement. Now if you read it, then you will get some good idea about it. Okay. If the mark is greater than or equal to 45, then the person is passed. If the mark is less than or equal to 45, then the person will be called as failed. We're going to write the same with Java syntaxes. Say if, then obviously we should have an open close bracket to specify the condition, right? So just I'm going to copy this entire thing. Okay, I'm going to use the same. So based on which we're going to make a decision? Based on the mark, right? So mark is greater than or equal to 45. Okay, then I'm going to say this out. Congratulations, you are passed. Then if I'm going to take this, if mark is less than or equal to 45, then what we're going to do? We're going to say this out. Sorry, you are failed, but don't lose the hope. So this is what we're going to have it in our program. Now I will go and run this program and we will see what is the output we are getting. Congratulations, you are passed. Sorry, you are failed, but don't lose the hope. At this point of time, we are getting both statements, right? Now it may create some confusion to you. If the mark is greater than or equal to 45, then we have to say passed. If the mark is not less than or equal to 45, if the mark is less than 45, because we should not consider the 45 in the failed, so that's the reason we got both statement in output. Now I have removed this equal to. Now I am going to run this program. Now we are getting the output only as congratulations, you are passed. Now I am going to say 44. Now I am going to run this. Now we are getting the output as you are failed, but don't lose the hope. So based on this condition, the statements will get executed. And one more thing which we discussed in the theory session. So if this condition should get evaluated as true, then only the statement will get executed. So this is what we have discussed, right? Now we're going to check that. I'm going to say mark greater than or equal to 45. Same way I'm going to say this out. I will say less than mark less than 45. Everything is fine, right? Now we're going to see really this condition is getting true, okay, after checking out the value or not. Now I'm going to run this program. We'll see. So first we are getting false because the mark is not greater than 45, so it's giving the output as false. That's the reason it's not executed the line. Congratulations, you are passed. Fine. We will come to the line number 30. Here we have a statement like mark less than 45. Yes, the mark is less than 45. So this condition is satisfied and it's returning true. That's the reason it's allowing to print your failed statement. Okay. Here out of this condition we got true. Okay, then only it's allowing us to print the value whatever we have inside the if statement. Now almost we have discussed everything about if statement, right? So here we are having a single mark, but we are having two if statements to make a decision, right? So instead of that having a two if statement, there is a way to do this easily. So if you want to print something when this condition failed, okay, then we have to use the else statement. This is how the else statement will come into picture. Say for example, if the mark is not greater than 45, then automatically control will come to the else statement. Then it will print the value whatever we had in the another if statement. So I'm going to have here. Fine. Now I'm going to run the same program and let's see what is the output we are getting. See, the output we are getting is sorry, you are failed, but don't lose the hope because we have the mark as 44. So it's less than 45. So it's returning as false. So whenever this condition is false, then automatically the control will move to else statement. Then this else statement will allow you to print whatever you have there. So if you want to make this condition more precise, say for example, obviously we will not have mark more than 100, right? So the max mark will be 100 only, right? So here if you specify 144, okay, then if you run this program, obviously you will get your pass one. Even though the mark is greater than 100 and this is not at all possible, it will allow you to print your passed. So here we have to precisely make our conditions to satisfy all those things. Now we will see how to do that. Fine. So here on the same mark, we have to say like the mark less than or equal to 100, then only we have to say you are passed, else you have to say you are failed. Now I'm going to run this program and we will see what is the output we are getting. So see, now we are getting the output as expected. Fine. Now I'm going to say exactly 100 and I will run this program. See, you are getting your pass. I will say 101 and I am going to run this program. See, you are getting failed. Now I am going to say 45 and I am going to run this program. See, you are getting passed. Fine. So in all these scenarios, it's working perfectly. Fine. But again, you have one question like you made a condition for upper mark, right? So in if condition, if the mark is more than 100, then you will not say it's passed. The same needs to be applied for else condition also, right? How you will say that? That is the one question which we have in mind, right? So to solve that, we will have another one type of statement, that is else if. So you have to say else space if. Then here also you can specify your condition. Say for example, if the mark is less than 45 and mark is greater than 0, then you have to say sorry, you are failed. Then there may be a question like if a person is entering a value more than 100, then how to handle that? Okay, for that we will have else. So here you can say one more else also. See, now I am going to say sys out. I will say like you may set a mark greater than 100 or less than 0. Please check your input. So now it's perfectly all right? So with this, we have discussed about if, then we have discussed about else if, then we have discussed about else also. So everything we have covered, right? So we have covered if and then if else and then if else if and then else. All those things we have covered it here. Now I am going to run this program. What is the output you are getting? Congratulations, you are passed because the value is 45. I'm going to say 145. Now I'm going to run this program and we will see. You may enter a mark greater than 100 or less than 0. Please check your input. So now we are giving a message to the user that, hey, you have entered a wrong value, so please correct. So this is how we will use if, else if and else statements in the real-time programs. There may be a question like how to enter the input at runtime. Then we have a class called scanner. Okay, so we have to import the scanner class. It will come from java.util. So if you click on here, it will come from java.util. Okay, so we have a class called scanner. It will help you to get the input from keyboard. Okay, fine. So now I'm going to say this out, enter value for mark. Okay, I'm going to say mark equal to scan dot next int. Initially I will initialize it with 0. Then I'm going to get the value from the scanner. Then I'm going to assign that value to the mark. Based on that mark, I'm going to make the decision. Okay. So I'm going to run this program. Enter value for mark. I will say 45. It's saying you are passed. The same way I'm going to say run this program. I'm going to say the mark as something higher value. So it's telling you have entered a mark greater than 100 or less than 0. Please check your input. Okay. Again, I'm going to run this program and I'm going to say mark is minus 90. So again, we are getting check the input. Okay. Now again, I'm going to run this program and I'm going to say mark is 34. You are failed. So everything is imperfectly, right? So this how we have to write our if else statement. Okay, it's very simple in the normal time how we are using if. In that same way we have to use it in the programming language also. We have to use the if else conditions, okay, or if else statement whenever you have a condition and based on that you have to make any decision. Then you have to use the if or if else or if else later. We haven't discussed anything about nested if, right? So that is if inside if will be called as nested if, right? So that is also possible. So for example, I'm going to take a variable called integer age equal to 20. So for this example, I'm going to take a age variable. So based on the age, I'm going to give some benefits. Okay. If the age is greater than 20, then only he will be eligible for the benefits. Okay. Else, we will say this out. Sorry, you are not eligible. If the age is greater than 20, then he is eligible for the benefits. Okay. That part we made it clear. Then if the age is greater than or equal to 20 and less than or equal to 50, then he is eligible for bucket 1 benefits. We can write so many if also. Again, if you want to check like if the person age is greater than 40, okay, then you have to say this out eligible for 1A benefit. Else he is eligible for bucket 1 benefits. Something like this. Okay, whatever you want, you can have it. Now we are having a if. Inside of if we are having another one if. Inside of that we are having another one if. Okay, so this is called nested if. So now I'm going to run this program. Let's see what is the output we are getting. So it's asking me to enter the value for mark. I have entered it. So it's saying like you are not eligible. if the age is greater than 20, then only he will be eligible for these benefits. So at this point itself, it's got failed. So we got false here. So that's the reason the control will move to else. So this else part is displayed. So we can remove this also. Fine. Okay. Obviously, we will get the value greater than 20 only. So checking equal to is not necessary here. So I have removed it. Fine. Now, if you run this with 25 or 23, whatever it is, then if you run this program, okay, eligible for bucket 1 benefits. Okay. If I say 43, if I run this program, see, eligible for bucket 1A benefits. Okay. Likewise, you can take your decisions based on these conditions. Okay. So this is how we have to write if-else conditions. I hope now you have some good understanding about decision-making statement. So still, if you guys have any doubts in this, please feel free to put your comments in the comment section so that we will have a look and we will try to revert back as soon as possible. Thanks for watching our videos. Please subscribe our channel for more videos like this. Keep supporting us. Thank you.